Welcome to the 2015 Volkswagen Polo GTI. We've got the 7-speed DSG version. A couple of weeks ago we had the 6-speed manual. The main difference, apart from the transmission of course, is the engine torque is capped to 250 Newton meters with the DSG, whereas with the manual you get 320 Newton meters. Power remains the same for both at 141 kilowatts. In my opinion, the Polo GTI has always been pretty much the benchmark in compact hot hatches. It offers excellent fuel economy and practicality while also being extremely quick. I think the new 1.8 engine is, it definitely feels more powerful. It is more powerful. And it feels a bit more refined and a bit smoother. So for day-to-day use, it is more practical. The old 1.4 litre turbocharged and supercharged engine had a lot of character though, so it's got big shoes to fill, this new 1.8. Of course the 1.4 had a few hiccups as well, like it was quite jerky and very aggressive in nature, whereas this 1.8 seems to be happier just to trundle about. We'll do a hot lap in a minute with the V-Box. I'll have to put my helmet on so I won't be able to speak, but we'll see what sort of time it does. There's been a lot of criticism about the DSG gearbox over the years. I'm still a fan. I think they're a great performance gearbox. It changes gear in pretty much no seconds. It's very direct. It'll change gear on demand. There's nothing actually wrong with the performance side of it. In the city, in everyday use, it can present a few problems, such as rolling back on the hills, and it's a bit jerky between reverse and drive. But this is a hot hatch, so it deserves a really high performance gearbox, and that's what the DSG is. I'm not sure the performance difference. We'll do a 0 to 100 in the DSG. We've done a 6.2 seconds in the manual, so it'll be interesting to see what the automatic version does. I think the manual version might be a bit quicker purely because of that extra torque, but if the engine produced the same amount of torque for both transmissions, I would be betting that the DSG is quicker. After all, it changes gear in almost no seconds, or virtually no seconds at all. The gearbox will change up automatically, so if you come hot into a corner and you've got it in a low gear, say 3rd gear, or coming around here in 2nd gear, the engine's revving it quite a bit, it will change up into 3rd, which can be a bit annoying because you end up changing it back down again when you come back into a tighter corner. Should you choose the manual over the automatic? Well, it just depends. Using these paddle shifters is very enjoyable. It makes you feel like a bit of a racing car driver. Changes gear extremely quicker than you can do in a manual, especially down changes. There's no way you can go from 3rd to 2nd as quick as this will go from 3rd to 2nd. We'll just do it. So I'm in 3rd, and it's just straight away, it does the rev matching, the blip of the throttle. There's no way a human can do that in that speed. So in that sense, the DSG is the higher performance option. But after driving the manual, I think I would prefer the manual. Just that extra torque really makes a difference. It does spin a lot of the torque away with the front wheel drive system. The GTI does come with a locking differential, but it only operates at speeds up to 40 kilometers an hour, which is kind of useless in performance car terms. It'll help you getting out of a tight driveway or in muddy conditions or something like that, but it doesn't do much for track performance. In the manual you do get a lot of inside wheel spin, whereas the DSG, with the lower torque, it seems to be a bit more balanced. One thing we did notice was it's pretty quiet on the outside. I don't remember the previous model being so quiet. Maybe it's because we're in the track atmosphere and there's Porsches and, you know, aftermarket exhaust yelling around everywhere. It seems to drown out the noise of this, but it does seem very quiet. steering is lovely in this car. You can really feel what's going on, and you can throw the weight around. There is a tiny bit of body roll, a bit of body tip, but that just tends to make it a bit more engaging, and you can throw the back end out if you want to as well, with the stability control switched off, of course. If you leave the stability control system switched on, it'll just go around the corners with as little fuss as possible. Out here on Wakefield Park, the track does seem a bit big for the car. It's actually, well, in my opinion anyway, it feels more enjoyable on a nice tight winding road up in the mountains. Whereas a big track like this, you've almost got too much room, the car is so small. It doesn't mean it's not quick though. So enough cruising about, let's go for a flat out hot lap.